Hello, my name is Danita Campbell Haywood, and I'm here today to do a persuasive speech on domestic abuse and violence. Christian Rusum, an attractive toxicologist for the San Diego County Medical Examiner Office, husband of 17 months, Gregory D. Villers, turned up dead in their bed, covered with red rose petals. Christian, 24, claimed Greg killed himself with drugs she bought earlier to bring herself down from crystal meth. The former child model and ballerina told police that Greg was depressed because she was leaving him. After a 7-month investigation, police arrested Christine on suspicion of poisoning her husband with a lethal cocktail of narcotics, which she stole from work while she was high on meth. Kristen was having an affair with her married boss, Michael Robertson, and the police suspected they had conspired to kill Greg. Christian was found guilty of murder by poison and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Her boss, married lover, did not get anything in this case. He was never tried or convicted. Every year in the United States, 1,000 to 1,600 women die at the hands of their male partners or intimate partners, often after a long escalating pattern of battery. The problem even gets worse. The estimated number of deaths due to intimate partner violence does not include those women who kill themselves to exit violent relationships or who die homeless on the street to avoid being battered and abused anymore in their life. Mandatory arrest policies in Arkansas require police officers to arrest the suspect whenever the officer has probable cause to believe that an assault or battery has taken place in a household. It doesn't matter if the officer has a warrant or even haven't even witnessed the domestic act. Mandatory arrest laws remove discretions on the part of the police officer who might be otherwise reluctant to arrest suspects in domestic cases. Domestic violence is usually a result of an argument about money, emotional problems, drugs, alcohol use, jealousy, or even the partner just want to be in control of the relationship. Most domestic disputes are not reported because of the fear that a victim has for their abuser. In a national survey, over 6,000 American families, 50% of the men in the family assault their wives, and they also assault their children. Men who have witnessed their parents' domestic violence acts are 3 times more likely to abuse their own wives and children. Over 3 million children are at risk to exposure to domestic violence each year. Children who experience domestic violence in their home display emotional and behavioral problems. They're withdrawn. They have a lower self-esteem. They have nightmares. They blame themselves. They have aggression and have temper tantrums. They are aggressive against own siblings and family members. Women that are often abused physically are often isolated. Their partners tend to take control of their lives to a great extent. For example, some of them can't even use the phone when they get ready. They're forbidden from seeing friends unless they're present. They have control of all money and financial matters of the household. They are not allowed to make decisions that concern the family or the household. They cannot drive anywhere. If they are, let the officers let them drive somewhere. Their time, from the time they leave the house until the time they get back, and then it's a problem. They can't look anybody in the eye. They have constantly looked at the ground. The state of Arkansas has penalties for domestic violence based on the situation. The first-degree domestic battery charge is a Class B felony, which is punishable up to imprisonment no longer than 15 years and a fine up to $20,000. The second-degree battery charge is a Class C felony, punishable up to 10 years in prison and a fine up to $10,000. The third domestic battery charge is a Class A misdemeanor, punishable up to a year in jail and a $1,000 fine. There are some steps that people can take to combat domestic violence or abuse. The first one is to learn about the problem. This will educate people on the myths and misconceptions of domestic violence. There will be no longer they will be no longer saying that this is none of my business and we should stay out of it. Second, boycott TV shows or other media shows that represent domestic violence as a stereotype. Finally, watch for signs of abuse. Who knows, this could be your children, your neighbor, co-worker, church member, or even a close friend. Remember, the person that performs domestic abuse is the person that wants to take control of the victim's life. Thank you. Goodbye.